Hello, everybody. Okay, so this is what you need to know. I am doing elementals. I will say that I was gonna do timestamps this time, but the clock that I thought was the timestamps, I don't think is actually the timestamp clock. So I'll figure it out. I'm not worried. Anyways, you shouldn't be worried either. We're starting with air signs, going to water, fire, and then earth. Remember, I give my feeling on the card along with any channel messages that come my way, so take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Feel free to watch your other placements, sun, moon, rising, Venus, and or cross-watch for somebody you're dealing with. Hello, Miss Vicky. So good to see you. Hopefully this time works better for everybody. It is working for me, so that's why we chose it. But let's get started with the air signs, which is Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. Air signs. Happy birthday, Geminis. Right? Yes. I had to think about that for a second. Right? Yes. We'll get to Cancer soon. All right. What you need to know. Air signs. And then, of course, there are changes taking place to the other lives as well. Well, the other live I do. Instead of Fridays, it's going to be on Sundays now at 5 p.m. And then the mid-months are changing as well. So that's my update, my news. Okay. Ouch. Okay. Air signs. Overall energy. You have two that came out. Now remember, I'm going to read as if, hello, Leanne. I'm going to read as if this is your energy. But if you're like, that's not me, that sounds like the person I'm dealing with, feel free to swap the roles. It is on you to do so. If it's not your reading at all, you don't have to tell me about it. Just watch your other placement. Or maybe it's just not about you this week. All right. We have number 20, envy. And number 8, indecision. You could be seeing 888 a lot, actually, or 28. And it's pertaining to a false person, number 8. Interesting, because we have envy, jealousy. I feel like that's very self-explanatory, and an energy of confusion, overthinking, overanalyzing, kind of stuck, stagnant energy pertaining to a false person. You could be the false person, or it could be somebody that you're dealing with. But as far as the envy, the jealousy, it's, of course, energy of wanting what somebody else has, not having gratitude and appreciation for what you have. And false person feels like somebody who's pretending to be somebody that they're not. We do have the Star card, Aquarius energy, the 2 of Wands, and the 9 of Cups. Interesting. It's interesting because this is really good stuff coming out, and the energy itself, not so great. So again, flop the roles if you need to, if it's somebody else's energy. The Star card tells you that this is to have faith in the future and what it is that you desire. It's also wish fulfillment. 2 of Wands to me is the minor arcana of the World card. So it's talking about turning your back on the old and expanding into the new, beginning a new cycle. And the 9 of Cups, well, that's wish fulfillment. It's not only wish fulfillment, but it talks about emotional sovereignty. And the underlying energy, that which is happening beneath the surface that you may or may not be aware of. We have number 39, 5th chakra, Archangel Gabriel, pertaining to number 33, concern. So this is like your throat chakra. We're talking about your truth, what you're speaking into existence, if you will. And And there's concern pertaining to, it's almost like what you're putting out is fear, stress, anxiety. I mean, I feel like what you desire is great, but energy-wise, we're not there yet. We have a 5 of Wands. The 5 of Wands tells me that you are in drama, chaos, energy leak, meaning that you're putting your energy into, good example would be, I want this thing. I want this 9 of Cups, this wish fulfillment and emotional sovereignty. And then immediately you're crapping all over it by saying, but what if it doesn't happen? What if I don't get that? Maybe I should go for something smaller. So now my energy is going towards what I want. My energy is going towards it's probably not going to happen. And now my energy is also going towards something smaller that seems a little bit more attainable because there's a lack of trust and confidence in your abilities. So that would be like the energy leak. You've got it going in so many different directions that the universe is going to give you a mixed bag, if you will. We have the moon, Pisces energy. That's a need to go through your fears. Follow your intuition, yes, but you need to be moving through your fears. Things are coming up for you to clear out. With the 7 of Swords, so the 7 of Swords normally gets a bad rap. It's, self-deception, lying, cheating. This feels more to me like strategy. And I feel like, I'm not going to clarify this card, but what we're strategizing is the Death card. A way to transmute Capricorn energy on the Death card. No, Scorpio energy on the Death card. A way to transmute this ick energy that we're sad into what it is that we desire. All right, what's the star card for the air signs? Interesting, I said Capricorn energy because the devil card popped out, which is what I was thinking when I saw the Death card. So we have the Devil card, Capricorn energy, the Page of Wands, and the 10 of Wands. This is what we desire. Wish fulfillment, faith in the future, a new beginning, a new cycle, getting rid of the old, emotional sovereignty, and wish fulfillment. What we're in is envy, jealousy, indecision, stagnancy, fear, stress. We have the Devil card, which is all about your shadow energy. It's talking about literally being tied and tethered to an old habitual habit. For some, it can be so many different things. Codependency, it can be addictive behaviors, addiction, pertaining to drugs or alcohol, things of that nature. With the Page of Wands, this tells me there's a passion, a drive, and a desire to walk away from the shadow, to break free from the chains that bind you, and to drop the burdens. What is the 2 of Wands? Ooh, nice. Okay. The 2 of Wands, again, new cycle beginning, turning your back on the old, moving forward. We have the Ace of Cups, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, the Fool card, Aquarius, Aries, and the 2 of Swords. Brand new emotional beginning, taking a leap of faith, a new cycle beginning. But we have that 2 of Swords, which to me is the indecision. So I'm going on a limb here and saying this is your energy, all of it, that there's a desire to break free from old and move forward. But there's, again, overthinking, overanalyzing, fear, a need to make a decision to cut ties with the old in order to move forward with the new. What is this 9 of Cups? Oop, I don't know what happened there. Hold on. 9 of Cups is being clarified by, good grief, slippery. The Ace of Pentacles, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, the 6 of Pentacles, and the Justice card, Libra energy. So your wish fulfillment is a brand new opportunity, something tangible. It could be a windfall of money. It could be a new job, a new home, a new car, something tangible in the 3D. With the 6 of Pentacles, That tells me that you are going to receive some form of a windfall coming in for you. It also talks about balance, and a windfall in sorts could also be a loan coming through if you were waiting on a loan. The justice is the balance, coming back into balance. That's your wish fulfillment. I feel like you are moving in that direction, but there's a need to shift the way that you're speaking. So if somebody comes to you and says, oh yeah, how's that, new job coming? Sarcastically or whatever, instead of saying, oh, I haven't figured it out. I don't know. Nothing's happening. It's coming. It's coming. I'm open and ready to receive. It's already on its way. Whatever it takes to shift the reality to the wish fulfilled, the desire. What is the Five of Wands? Five of Wands, energy leak, chaos, energy going in too many places at once instead of focusing on just one and really pumping that good desire fulfillment into it. We have the Nine of Pentacles in the reverse, the Eight of Wands, and the Hermit card. So the drama, the chaos, could also be people around you as well that are sucking up your energy. Like with the example I gave of having a conversation, maybe people are Debbie Downing your desires and you're starting to intake that energy. This feels like, again, you're not able to reap the rewards of the fruits of your labor. You're putting far too much energy and effort into attempting to create something and not being able to reap the rewards. Why? Because there's far too much energy and effort going out and in many different directions. With the Eight of Wands, I feel like it's telling you to literally hone all of your energy and your focus into the Hermit. The Hermit Virgo energy, breaking free from people, places, and situations. Like the Hermit says, go within. Really figure out what you truly desire, what your true star is, what your wish fulfillment, what's in alignment with your soul path. What's the Moon card for the air signs? Ooh, I like it. Okay. So the Moon, again, following the intuition, your higher guidance, but also moving through your fears. Looking fear in the face and doing it anyway. Not allowing it to keep you stuck and stagnant. We have the King of Swords. That's you. Air signs. It doesn't matter what your sign is. That's air sign. Taking your power back. And the King of Swords notoriously is somebody who's willing to cut out people, places, and situations that don't serve them, even if it's cutting out their own, I heard misbehavior, so take that how it resonates. But even if you're cutting out your own crap that's holding you back, it also talks about having laser focus on what it is that you desire. And I feel like what you desire is a Ten of Pentacles. For some of you, there's a need to end an old Ten of Pentacles, something that already feels stable and secure but isn't. And then we have the Fool card, a brand new beginning, taking that leap of faith, looking fear in the face and doing it anyway. That's so funny because I just got this the other day, but I'm getting it again and I don't remember what sign it was, but it's Pamela Pumpkin, like kick it in the crotch. Anyway, we have the World card, which tells me that you are indeed going to complete a cycle. In fact, it feels like you're in the midst of it. Capricorn, Aquarius energy on this. I don't know if I said Aquarius, Aries on the Fool card, but you are completing a cycle. It is a time of celebration. And I feel like what you're ending is an old way of thinking, speaking, and believing that's been stabbing you in the back, really. It's been holding you back. What is this Seven of Swords? Okay, I'm getting, is it John Travolta in Greece? I got chills, they're multiplying, and I'm losing control. Okay, Seven of Swords. We have the Page of Pentacles, the Page of Swords, and the Four of Swords in the reverse. Pages bring news. It feels like there's opportunity that's coming in for you, and clarity, truth, actual tangible offers, ideas, thoughts that are coming through for you. I'm not a fan of the Four of Swords in the reverse, because that tells me that there is a lack of receiving intuition, guidance, and downloads. So be careful that the Seven of Swords for some of you isn't reflective of you being self-sabotaging. Either way, we have the Death card, which tells me that all of this is being transmuted. It feels as though things are going to be looking up for you, air signs. We have number 51 by the end of the week. So stay alert, stay open. I'm going to shuffle, read the chat, and we will move on to the water signs. Ladies, it's so good to see you. There's the ego part of me is like, oh, just go back to doing vertical live so you get more views. And the me, the higher self me is like, nope, this works for me. This is perfect. Also, I put some tight, strict, I don't know what you call them, controls on the chat. I don't know if you saw, you actually have to be subscribed for at least 10 minutes before you leave a comment, which is helpful in weeding out the people that I don't want in my chat. So, and what do you guys think about the time? Is it better? I know, Leanne, I knew you would think that was a good idea because you're the one that told me, like, I knew that you could end up making the chat, because when you do the vertical lives, none of the comments that you guys leave stay when you're done. So I knew that I could switch that when I went on to this to where they would stay. But Leanne, you're the one that told me, like, you can make it so only subscribers can chat. Like, you can literally, it's like parental controls is what it feels like to keep the riffraff out. So thank you, Leanne. I saw it today and was like, I think I'm going to adopt that. And I don't know, what do you guys think about, oh, I already asked. Vicky said, I like the time. I also figured for Leanne, it's after nap time. I don't know how you guys feel about Sunday, but I have too many. I'm not going to say too many. I have a perfect amount of clients and more coming through. And so it's gotten to a point where this is still a priority, but not the main priority. So I thought about you both when I did the time as well, because I'm like, this is before, it's a good time because it's before what I would consider a bedtime on the East Coast time. And it is, it's not too early. So Leanne gets her nap and, yeah, that is unacceptable. I wonder why that is. Leanne, how did you get to be number one today? I don't know. Who got to is it whoever gets there first? Well, that's weird because in the top part, Vicky was number one. And then Leanne was two. And now it's switched. But if you scroll up, you were number one, Vicky. And then Leanne became number two. I don't know. Weird. All right. So the reason I was all kerfunkled on the time is because my timer started moving before I actually started doing it. So we'll see if it works. I'll use it, but we'll see what happens. All right, water signs, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. What you need to know. Oh, I'm getting the song. Is it Hold On, You Move Too Fast. You gotta make the moment last. Da-na-na-na-na, feeling groovy. Oh my God. I could have bloopers for days. All right, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. What you need to know. I give my feeling on the card along with any channel messages that come my way. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Feel free to watch your other placements, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. And or cross watch for somebody that you are dealing with. Okay. Water signs. Overall energy is number 17. Action. Pertaining to number 21, family room. You know, it's interesting because family room can be a lot of things. To me, it feels very much pertaining to family, but it also feels like for some of you, this is pertaining to a shift in your home. Whether it's like remodeling or moving or cleaning or something to that extent. We have a Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is a brilliant knight. This is the energy of stability, security, loyalty, but it is the slowest moving opportunity in the whole deck of all knights. This is slower than Slug Snot. This could be an opportunity coming in. It could be a person coming in. But again, it's very loyal, stable, secure, reliable. It's just slow. We have a 9 of Wands. Well, that's fun. The 9 of Wands is chironic energy. It is talking about like the baggage, the things you've been through, things that you've been holding on to for far too long. What I do like about the 9 of Wands is that you're close to the 10, and that's when we drop all that crap because it's unnecessary. We have the 2 of Pentacles. 2 of Pentacles is overdoing it, overworking, putting far too much energy and effort. It's emotionally and energetically draining. We will get into more when we clarify, but you could be juggling between, a lot of the times I call this juggling between 2 worlds, like the spiritual you and the 3D you, especially as water signs. It's a difficult balance. A lot of water signs like to be in the spiritual side all the time and completely forget about the 3D. And then they come back down to the 3D and it's very chaotic energetically. But there's a balance that needs to be created in your own life. So underlying energy, that which is happening beneath the surface that you may or may not be aware of. We have number 25, deceit. Pertaining to number 33, concern. Interesting. Did we not just get that one? I thought we did. So there's deception taking place. Could be self-deception, could be somebody else you're dealing with, but it's the concern. I feel like the deception itself is the concern. I don't feel like it's something outside of you. I feel like your self-deception is because you're fearing or concerning about something or someone. We have a 4 of Cups. Rejection. It feels very much like whether you're doing the rejection or somebody else is, there's a focus on the emotional opportunities that you currently have or have had and feeling very unsatisfied. There is an opportunity coming in, but you're not going to get it when you're in that energy of, I'm not happy, like concerned, like what's going on? Why isn't whatever taking place? It could pertain to a King of Pentacles. Specifically, this is Virgo energy, but it's Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. You could be dealing with that or have that in your chart. It also talks about the security and the stability. It talks about your financial, your 3D, if you will. So if we're unsatisfied, again, with maybe a person and or work, home, finances, it's all in your head. The Eight of Swords. You're making yourself a self-imposed prison. You're creating this instability and insecurity within yourself. All right, water signs. What's the Knight of Pentacles? Knight of Pentacles is being clarified by the Ace of Wands. Aries, Leo, Sag, brand new passionate beginning, creativity. The Five of Wands, which tells me that we have chaos. We have possible drama, energy leak, things going in multiple different directions. And the Lovers, pertaining to possibly a soulmate connection. Gemini energy. Doesn't have to be love, but it can be. Possibly is, because we're talking about a family room and taking action. Also, Ace of Wands is talking about taking action, but I mean, we're talking about taking action through drama, chaos, and energy leak. Going in, like, there's a need to refocus your energy. There could be, again, a feeling of either being left out in the cold and or financial constraints. Your thoughts are leading to things and they're not great things. So what is this Nine of Wands? I can tell you right now what it is. It's all of your creations are being tinged with the past experiences. Whether it's conscious or subconscious, you are recreating old dramas, conflicts, things that you don't desire because they're burdens. That's why they're chironic wounding. It's not the good stuff. So Nine of Wands is being clarified by the Sun card, Leo energy, the World card, Aquarius, Capricorn energy, and a King of Wands. Interesting. Sagittarius energy. So for me, this is talking about, yes, the Sun is the happiest card in the deck, but frankly, I feel like this is illuminating a need to end a cycle. And this isn't just yay, you're completing a cycle. This is you needing to be aware that there is a need to oh, good. I've got cats fighting outside. I apologize. Like, I don't know if you could hear it, but this is illuminating the fact that you need to put an end to a cycle. It's letting you know. I don't feel like this is necessarily letting you know, hey, guess what? Lucky you, you're moving through a cycle. You could be, but I feel like this is more or less illuminating the fact that there's a need for you to take that last wand and drop it. Drop the burden. Become aware of what it is and then let it go. This King of Wands, interesting. The reason I find this interesting is because your energy is action. And when you talk about action, it makes me immediately think of fire signs, because fire signs are all about, like, let's go, charge for it, fire, light a fire, let's move. Fire is action. I don't know if it's that you're embodying this energy, you're being called to maybe embody this energy. You could be dealing with a fire sign. It also, this specific fire sign talks about an entrepreneurship. It talks about passion, drive, desire. It talks about charisma and, again, taking action and magic. So what I find even more interesting is that it's talking about illuminating the fact that you need to put an end to an old cycle. We have the Nine of Wands, and with the King of Wands, that does make 10. For some of you, you're being called to embody that energy and take action. Don't sit by and swim in your little fishbowl or hide under the ocean, or trying to think of the crab, hide under a shell or in your shell, whatever the case is. You get what I'm saying, water signs. There's a need for you to actually take action and take a leadership role in your own life, really. What is this Two of Pentacles? Oy vey. Okay. Two of Pentacles. We have the Six of Cups, the Seven of Wands, and the Hermit card. I can tell you that there is a past experience that you are very protective of and or defensive about. Something from childhood possibly, could even be a person. But again, we have major defensive energy. And what are we defending against? Hermit. Virgo energy, spiritual awakening, understanding, finding your truth. This is a block, is what it feels like. It feels like a major block. And I feel like maybe that's I heard something about riding a fence, and then I heard, what am I seeing? Okay, it's a movie with Nicolas Cage, and he's a skeleton on fire. I don't know what the name is, but he turns into a skeleton on a motorcycle. That could mean something to somebody. This feels like what is energetically holding you back, energetically and emotionally. Something needs to break through. But it's almost like, I don't know if every time you get close to uncovering it, something transpires that keeps it blocked or hidden. It's like an active block. And it could be it feels very shadow. Like something within you is actively blocking. That's interesting. I wonder why that happened. Why is my phone not charging? Because it wasn't plugged in. There definitely, you need to go within. There is a cycle that needs to come to an end. And it's actively blocking it. Or you're actively blocking it on some level. Hence I feel like this is your self-deception. What's the Four of Cups? It's almost like you don't want to see it, or you don't want to admit to it, or you don't want to feel it, or Four of Cups, Temperance card, Sagittarius energy, Ace of Cups, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, and the Nine of Wands. So the Four of Cups is a perfect depiction of what I just pulled. You're highly unsatisfied with, or there's been rejection in the past. You're being offered an opportunity. We have divine timing, Sagittarius energy, which tells me that you're meant to not overindulge, just go with the flow, because that opportunity is coming in divine timing when we get off of our pity party. And frankly, I mean, that was with the utmost respect, but there's something that you are actively deceiving yourself from. And again, whether it is because it's too painful, or you're in the midst of playing the victim, like, oh, they did this to me and woe is me, and what in the actual heck? Oh my gosh, I am so tempted. I'm so tempted to walk outside and tell that guy to knock it off. I won't. But he doesn't live in front of my house. I might. Just saying. King of Pentacles. Ten of Cups. Ace of Swords. Nine of Pentacles. So here's the family room. The Ten of Cups. The feeling of something pertaining to family, or an emotional cycle that's coming to an end. Now, 10s come to an end, but there's an ace, which you have coming in, a new opportunity. But there's something that needs to be worked out, or else you're going to repeat a cycle. With the Ace of Swords, there's truth, clarity, a new way of thinking and believing, which is leading to the Nine of Pentacles. I feel like this is a twofold message. I feel like there's something pertaining to your past, your upbringing, that you've been keeping under wraps. Now, whether it's conscious or subconscious, there's some kind of like, I don't want this out. I don't want the world to know about it. I don't want to know about it. Maybe even. And it's become too much. Whatever it is like overburdening to you, emotionally and energetically. I feel like it affects your family life, and also finances for a lot of you, because, I just feel like they're very closely knit tied. Finances are nothing more than energy. So this King of Pentacles, whether it's an actual person, it could be a father figure even for you, or, you know, husband. I wouldn't go as far as saying wife. It feels very much like this is a masculine, although it's feminine energy. It just feels, I'm getting more of a feeling that this is pertaining to like a husband, a father, something of that nature, maybe both intertwined, not the same person. No, I'm not like that. But there's truth and clarity coming in, and an ability to finally be able to reap the rewards of the fruits of your labor. What is the Eight of Swords? Nice. The self-deception and the fear is what's holding you back. And again, it could go back to childhood. The Eight of Swords is being clarified by the Strength card, Leo energy. Having the strength, the power, the perseverance, taking your power back. With the Chariot, Cancer energy, victory, success, forward momentum. With the Two of Pentacles, and then the Three of Cups. I feel like you're being called to take your power back, to have strength and perseverance, to push through victory, success, and forward momentum through this energy of being of two worlds, of overdoing it energetically and emotionally. And then we come to the Three of Cups, which to me is the celebration. It's so weird using this camera because I don't know where things are. I'm trying to like move it, and anyway, victory, success, moving through it, being able to finally accomplish. We have number 56, going too fast, slow down, take your time. Patience. Divine timing is at play. You are being called to take action, but I feel like you're taking action on the 3D as opposed to the internal. How do you figure out something that is subconscious? Well, I'm so happy that you asked that, Vicky. I don't know where I'm at today. I'm feeling a little funny. As far as understanding or unraveling that which is subconscious, it's more or less focusing on your own personal patterns. And so like with the 13 steps to transformation, the way I've created it is to bring focus onto your actions and what it is that's going on in your life. From your thoughts to your feelings to the situations that you're in. So when you have a subconscious anything that is affecting your life and you're trying to figure out what's going on, take a look at your life. Like what's going on in your life. And if you're not satisfied with current things, or you're seeing a trend, because I feel like in that specific reading, there was a trend taking place, but there could have been a blame taking place. Like, as opposed to understanding that you're creating it, it could have been more like, I don't want to look at that. It's got to be something else or somebody else. let me give an example. Like, why are you lacking in finances? Well, it's been like that since I was a kid. I grew up lacking this is just the way it is. So that would be a good way to push it on to something else, or I'm not looking at that because that's just how life is. As opposed to being like, yeah, why is that happening? I don't have to pinpoint when it started or how it started. Clearly, most of our programming is from childhood, but at least I'm aware of it and can be like, okay, how do I shift this? Because clearly it's a theme in my life. Even, if this is happening, it comes up every however often, or there's themes, there's things that we repeat, and it all boils down to our beliefs and our technically it's the vibration that we're sat in, but that stems from what's going on in the subconscious, which is pre-programmed from, however many years of doing things or hearing things, or thoughts becoming beliefs, becoming who we are kind of energy. Like I said, I break it down in the 13 steps to transformation. But I'm not the only one out there. So there's plenty of different people that, do the same kind of work. And if it's not exactly the way I go about it, a lot of people will do the childhood regression. I'm not a fan of that personally, but that's just my personal feeling. But yes, there is, even if something's in the subconscious, it's made manifest in the 3D. That's how you know that it's even a thing. So, to pay attention to the patterns of the thoughts. I see what they did. I think that they got tagged to move it, or it was going to get towed or something. So they moved it across the street from my house. Couple more shuffles and we will move on to lay fire signs. So, no, I don't believe that one day, or it's mostly, we have a dominant vibration that we're sat in. Hence why life has the same theme for many a years, unless you start actually doing the work, and then you'll start seeing themes shift. But it depends on how diligent and what it is that you're moving towards, if you will, on whether it'll be a subtle shift or a major shift, or over time it becomes a more lengthy shift. A lot of times when we just focus on manifesting, which no shade in that, like people are like, I want it, I want to manifest, I don't want to do all the other spiritual work or anything. We can manifest something. The level of difficulty is dependent, and being able to keep up that energy isn't necessarily happening, because if you don't make the shift within internally, which would in essence shift your vibration and make life much easier to shift in general on a consistent basis, things inevitably have a tendency to go back to exactly what it was. So when we focus just on manifesting, yes, you can do it, and keep it up for however long. But the ideal would be to shift your energy, what is the word? Your, the energy that you're sat in the majority of the time. Not, oh, I'm manifesting, so I'm lifting it up to here. It's, I want to shift all of this. And in order to shift things, you have to become aware of them. So hopefully that answered that. But no, overnight isn't going to, it's a dominant energy. So if you're having a hard time manifesting, it's because, that's the word I was looking for, dominant. It's because your dominant energy is 100% contradicting the energy you're trying to embody, if you will. All right. Oh, I got to do timestamps. Fire signs. I'm hoping these timestamps work. We will find out. Apparently, we will find out. Fire signs. Aries, Leo, Sag. Oh, why am I still going? Aries, Leo, Sag. What you need to know. Oh, I do get my feeling on the card along with any channeled messages that come my way. And take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Feel free to watch other placements, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and or cross watch for somebody you are dealing with. You better be listening, Leanne. No, I'm just kidding. Because you're my number one today. You're both my number one. Fire signs. What in the world is going on here? I feel like fire signs, you have a theme of water signs. So I don't know if you have a water sign, you've got it in your, they do, you do. There's a theme, I feel like. And I'm just throwing that out there. I don't know what it means for you, but I don't know why I didn't pull more cards. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. We have number 20, envy. And number 8, false person. Interesting, because I could have sworn that somebody else got this exact pair. They might have had one card in there too. I don't remember. Somebody else definitely got the envy and the false person, but I think that was there another card sandwiched in between it? It was air signs. And you are jealous that Leanne is number one today. I can feel it. Anyway, so if you have air in your chart, check that out, because I feel like this is doubling down on a message for you. We have envy, jealousy pertaining to false person. Are you the false person? Is it somebody you're dealing with? We're going to find out. We have a Fool card, Aries, Aquarius energy. And this is all about a new cycle beginning, taking a leap of faith. Interesting. I never noticed that they have this cute little white dog. It's like it feels so dark, though. I mean, the dog doesn't, but... Then we have the Emperor in the reverse. Fire signs. So the Emperor is Aries energy. Now, I am going to say this is you. If you feel like the rules need to be reversed, that is all on you to do so. The Emperor in reverse is an energy of somebody who is out of control. It is somebody who is attempting to be very controlling, possibly manipulative. It's an energy of, I heard putting the cart before the horse. I don't know what that means. Maybe somebody will understand. This is somebody who's very possessive, controlling, but they're truly out of control. They're wanting to be a leader in other people's lives, but they haven't even taken a leadership role in their own life. This is somebody who, I don't like that, but I heard failing miserably. In whatever aspect that means. We will clarify. But it just feels very much like somebody who is trying to play a part but they're not there. And it's no shade. I don't know. And this isn't a fake it till you make it kind of energy. This is somebody who truly believes on some level that this is where they belong. But it's coming from this place of envy, jealousy. Okay, now I'm getting a song. It's I can do anything you can do better. I can do anything better than you. No, you can't. Yes, I can. No, I don't know where that song comes from, but it's peculiar to me because then we have an Ace of Cups. Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio energy, a brand new emotional experience. So we have these opportunities. Brand new cycle beginning, brand new emotional experience. But we're coming from this from a really icky energy. So there's opportunities presenting themselves, but there's this energy of not goodness. We will clarify though. So maybe it's not you. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's Maybelline. I don't know. Anyway, in the underlying energy, that which is happening beneath the surface that you may or may not be aware of. Number 19, rest and rejuvenation. Pertaining to number 22, official person. I gotta be honest. I feel like this is somebody in your energetic field. Now, again, if you're gonna flip the roles, feel free to. But I feel like the rest and rejuvenation is. I feel like this person is taking a break. I feel like they're considered the official person in your life. Water sign or somebody who embodies it. So take it how it resonates. I feel like this is definitely their energy. The resting and rejuvenation tells me, especially because water signs have a tendency to need to pull their energy back. And again, if you're like, I'm not dealing with a water sign, wait until I get to what this energy entails. But I feel like this is somebody who is taking their energy back. And again, we're talking about official person, which it doesn't have to be love. It could be a boss. It could be a family member. It could be, insert whoever. I'm going to have a coughing fit in a minute, which is super weird because I feel like I was totally fine 5 seconds ago. Okay, King of Cups. Specifically Pisces energy. But it's Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio energy. Again, could be dealing with this person or they have this in their chart. I definitely feel like whoever's in your underlying energy is another person. Don't feel like it's you. This is somebody who's kind, caring, compassionate, highly intuitive, and psychic. It's the energy of also somebody who maybe wears their heart on their sleeve and or has a lot of emotion. With a Page of Cups, I feel like this is somebody who is following their heart, yes, but I also feel like it could be somebody that has come in to flirt with you or communicate from their heart, if that makes sense. So if it's not even, let's say we're talking about your mother here. They're not flirting with you clearly. I would hope not. They're communicating with you from their heart. They're speaking from their heart. Could even be telepathically and or on some kind of spiritual level. With the Strength card, this is strength and perseverance, Leo energy. It also talks about somebody who's taken their power back. If you need to flip the roles, do so. But I feel like there's a new beginning taking place, but you need to get your energy straight. And with the person you're dealing with. Don't, whatever. What's the Fool card for the fire signs? I heard years she blows. I don't know. And now I'm getting, and they all fall down like a toy soldier. Dun, 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 dun. They all fall down. like a toy soldier. I don't know who sings that or any other part of it. We have the Star card, Aquarius energy, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Eight of Cups. Interesting. This new cycle, this new beginning, is a wish fulfillment. It's also somebody who's taking a leap of faith because they have faith in the future. This is the slowest moving knight in the deck, but it is very loyal, stable, and secure stability. Excuse me. This is the energy of somebody who's coming in very slow or an opportunity. And for a lot of you, there was an emotional detachment, but a shift. So it honestly feels like this new beginning is a form of a wish fulfillment. It also feels very much like somebody having faith in this future. But at some point they emotionally detached and now they're coming back around, but they're taking their time and they're moving very slowly. This isn't somebody who's rushing in. There also could be a lot of defensive energy or feeling very much overwhelmed by another person. Pressures. What is the Emperor in the reverse? Who is the Emperor in the reverse? Ooh, maybe it isn't you. We'll see. Emperor in reverse is being clarified by the Three of Cups, the Ten of Cups, and a King of Pentacles. Specifically Virgo, but it's Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. For some of you, this is a lack of stability and security when it comes to family matters. Love matters. Could also expand in other parts of the life, business, things of that nature, home. It feels very much like there's an energy of chaos or feeling out of control when it came to family. This could be growing up, could be your current family, could be a family in between growing. Like, frankly, I feel like most of this started in childhood, but it could be a pattern that's coming through. There could have been addictive behaviors, drinking, drugging, I feel emotional. So it feels like there's overindulging in substances of some sort, even if it's food or, booze or something to that extent. There could be father issues. Male, female, not gender specific. It feels like there could be issues with the father. I heard tainted, and then I saw like a loaf of bread molding. So, interesting. What's this Ace of Cups? Ace of Cups is being clarified by the Empress, Taurus, Libra energy. The Eight of Swords, the Hanged Man, Pisces energy, the Two of Pentacles, and the Six of Swords in the reverse. I feel like when it comes to emotional opportunities, and you maybe embody the Empress energy and or have the opportunity to turn your dreams into reality, prosperity, abundance, things of that nature. that you immediately go up in your headspace, that there's overthinking, overanalyzing, fear, stress, and anxiety. Because there's a perception, there's a perception of, I feel like your perception is about instability and insecurity. And if it isn't that, it doesn't feel right. I feel like anytime you've had the opportunity to move into calmer emotional and mental waters, you turn right back around. This feels very self-sabotaging. And it feels like it's all stemmed around a belief of... okay, now I'm getting... Is it Tina Turner? That's who I'm seeing in my head, but I'm hearing what's love got to do with it. This feels like, again, father issues, something pertaining to childhood and family where instability, insecurity, this feels as though there's a breakdown when it comes to emotions, and whether it is, I feel like it extends to every aspect of your life where there's this feeling of not having control, or feeling the need to manipulate and control situations because you're not in control, or whatever warped sense of, there's a need to take a leadership role in one's own life and not concern themselves with, do they like me, do they not? You need to understand that you need to like yourself. You need to love yourself wholeheartedly. It's not about any other person. And if you're looking outside of yourself to fill any kind of void, you're not there yet. It's not to say you can't have relations, friends, family, lovers, but it is a literal sign. This is your sign if you are looking outside of yourself for anything as far as accolades or love or respect or any of that. It's something that you should be giving to your own self, because in the event that somebody comes across your path that isn't doing one of those things, they're not loving you or they're not respecting you. There should be zero issues with you because you're a whole person and you don't need that from another person. When we're needing that from another person, it means that we are not there yet. So this feels very much like we're in a cycle that we continuously feel the need to repeat, because there's an energy that it's almost like if it's not chaotic, I must create it, or I don't feel comfortable. Like this isn't right. And for some of you, at this point in the reading, I don't feel like you're aware of that. I feel like there is a lot of blaming. What's the King of Cups? Who is the King of Cups? Hokely dokely. Well then, King of Cups is being clarified by the Death card, Scorpio energy, the Five of Wands, the Queen of Wands, and the Wheel of Fortune. I feel like when it comes to this person, there could have been something that came to an end as of late, or energetically. They could have pulled back energetically, especially if they're a water sign. There's a need to do so to recharge, because there was drama and chaos and energy that just was like not great when it came to you. Fire sign. It feels like there was a need to pull back. And we do have the Wheel of Fortune, which to me tells me that there is going to be some kind of movement taking place seemingly out of nowhere, some kind of progress or communication after a time of stagnancy coming through with this person. What's the Page of Cups? What does this person bring into you? Page of Cups is being clarified by the Five of Cups, the Emperor in the upright, and the Magician. The Five of Cups is somebody who's focused on that which has not worked. This is somebody who's focused on the negative, the cups that have spilled out. I'll be honest, I feel like this could be your energy too, although you could be mirroring another person, or they're mirroring it. But there's opportunity. There's still an opportunity, but we have to move that focus. With the Emperor in the upright, I feel like I'm going to be honest, I feel like they reach out and it reignites something within you that puts you back in your power. Now, it's not really your power. It's fake power, because it shouldn't have taken another person to make you feel worthy or good about yourself in order for you to get your power back. If that's been a cycle in your life where it's like, woe is me, and then somebody's like, oh, you're pretty, or you're nice, or you're, good, or whatever, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, I'm walking on sunshine, just because somebody else. Because if that's the case, you know that if somebody goes against all of that, it's going to knock you down. And in essence, you're giving your power to other people to determine how you're going to feel. It's not shame on them for calling you a name. It's shame on you for not knowing yourself enough to know that you aren't the name they called you, to knowing that you are good enough. If they make you feel a certain kind of way, it's because you yourself are not filling up your cup. I like my green tea. Anyways, I will say that you are manifesting from finally being in that upright position. Again, the Emperor, Aries energy, the Magician, Gemini, Virgo energy. So I think what you are creating or manifesting is you taking your power back. So this might have a really good turn of events here. We have the Moon, Pisces energy, the Nine of Cups, and the Sun, Leo energy. I feel like what it is that you're finally manifesting once you get out of your pity party is the Moon, which is all about following your intuition and you're seeking your higher self, but moving through your fears, following not only wish fulfillment, but becoming emotionally sovereign. And emotionally sovereign is how I explained, where it doesn't matter what anybody thinks or says about you. You feel good about your own self, and none of that ever matters. You've filled your own cups. And that's what leads to your Sun. The happiest card in the deck: joy, happiness, abundance, prosperity, creativity. But before we get ahead of ourselves, what's the Strength? Nice. Whoop. Nice. One more for the win. Let it be a good one. Not really, but okay. So, the Strength card, you're taking your power back. We have the Ace of Cups, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Brand new emotional beginning. When you take your power back, it is opening you up to emotional sovereignty and again, brand new emotional beginning. Could even be love, but I think it's filling your own cup up first. Ace of Swords, clarity, truth, a new way of thinking and believing. Nine of Swords. Now, I'm not a fan of the Nine of Swords, but I do like it because it means 9. We're one away from dropping that old way of thinking and believing that was holding us back this entire time. Nine of Swords is fear, stress, anxiety, overthinking, sleepless nights, things of that nature. But with the sword, it feels to me like you've got that 10 because you're taking your power back. And no, it's not going to be instantaneous, which makes sense that we have a 9 of Swords. We're getting there. We're just not there 100%. But you are bringing balance back into your life. And again, it feels like the ending is good. I'm not a fan that somebody had to reach out and communicate with you in order for it to transpire. But maybe that's just the catalyst that allows you enough to take your energy and power back. And that's what's important. It doesn't necessarily matter how it happens, as long as it doesn't become a cycle where we're only taking our power back in order for us to feel good for a hot minute until somebody steps on our toes again. So, your Excuse me. Number 5. Amazing chemistry, terrible timing. So whoever this person is wasn't meant to be. They could be a catalyst, but it wasn't meant to be a relations. And if it was a parent, then, you know, great, amazing chemistry. But you're needing what it was that you felt that you needed from them wasn't the right timing. I don't know. All right, I'm going to shuffle, read the chat, and move on to the earth signs, the final earth signs. Leanne, are you the false person? That's hilarious. Yeah, but Leanne, Earth is next, so. And I gotta tell you, so far none of the readings have been like, woo, this is great. It feels more like, there's some things that you need to pay attention, keep moving forward, you know, blah, blah, blah. But I guess if everybody's life was great, they wouldn't be watching me. Ouch. Oh, hopefully that wasn't the cat they were going after. That's my inside cat. She must have escaped. By escaped, I mean I had the door open earlier. And I might have forgotten to let her back in. Yeah, whatever. She's fine. It's amazing how quiet the chat is when I don't have randos who can pop in and just say whatever they want. Actually, if you would, well, I'm not asking. Give me 2 seconds. I'm gonna go let her in before the strays come and attack her. I shall return. What was I doing? Shuffling. Oh, thank you. Thank you for your permission, Leanne. Yeah, number 1 crown has to grant the permission. Okay. I gotta rewrite that. So, I have the power. Yeah, fingers crossed. Don't claim it until you hear it. Just in case. Alrighty, Earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. I do give my feeling on the card along with any channel messages that come my way. So, take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Feel free to watch other placements, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and or cross-watch for somebody that you are dealing with. All right. Yeah, Leanne, don't even watch the air sign one. I'm just kidding. How are we receiving? Let's leave it like that for a minute. Really? Oakley, Dokely. Earth signs. Overall energy, we have number 53, Magician and the Mirror. Pertaining to number 1, a main male. You could be the main male and or it's somebody that you're dealing with. The Magician and the Mirror, I love this card. It talks about alchemy. It tells me that you are in alignment to manifest, but it gives me the tinge of mirroring effect. So you could be mirroring somebody or they're mirroring your energy. Take it how it resonates. We have a Page of Cups. So the Page of Cups is an energy of flirtation. It's also considered following your heart. We will clarify to get to the bottom of it. But I will say that the Page of Cups is very like innocent, flirty. It's not, it could just be a loving conversation or you're looking smoking hot or something to that extent. It's nothing like let's spend the rest of our lives together, right? We have a Queen of Cups, specifically Cancer, but it's Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. It kind of came out sideways. I don't necessarily feel like it was meant to be in the reverse, but we will find out as we move through the reading. This is, again, somebody you could be dealing with. It could even talk about you following your own heart space. But it feels more like there's some kind of flirtation. And again, it could be lighting up your own heart space, but the person you're dealing with could be a water sign. We have an Ace of Swords. This is Aquarius, Libra, Gemini, truth, clarity, downloads, cutting through the bull honky. The bull shift, right? Anyways, underlying energy, that which is happening beneath the surface that you may or may not be aware of. We have number 22, Yin energy. And it's pertaining to number 36, distant horizon. So if you're going into the yin energy in the distant horizon, it feels more so like you're going to at some point be called to really truly go within. You could be prepping for some kind of a spiritual awakening or ending of a cycle in order to move through some stuff. The yin energy is a spiritual winter. It talks about going within, really getting into your spiritual aspect. And when it says distant horizon, it's at least on the horizon, but I will tell you from my own experience that, you do your spiritual stuff and then it's like eventually you have to come back to the 3D and be of this world. And until you find your balance between the two. So there's a lot of, spiritual. Oh, okay, we're going to take in essence, a break because we're now about work and 3D and kids and relationships and whatever. And then we kind of find ourselves back on the path until we are able to take the two paths and slide down the middle. That's what it feels like, is that we're talking about in the future, distant, but it's on the horizon. You're going to be moving and into a next level. And you can even call it ascension, because that's really what a spiritual going within is. It's more ascension. We have a Four of Cups. This tells me that there was some form of rejection on somebody's part. Either you rejected another or they've rejected you. It could be several times. It could even, doesn't have to be in love per se. It is cup energy, but it's emotional. So it could pertain to work. Maybe you were unsatisfied emotionally with several jobs, and or a mixture of your emotional experiences, roughly the most recent ones. And there is an opportunity coming in. I heard hold your horses. Hold your horses. We have a Page of Pentacles. Pages bring news. Well, there's one opportunity that's coming in for you. And then we have the Queen of Pentacles. Specifically Capricorn, but it's Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. That's your energy. And I find this very interesting because the Queen of Pentacles beautiful energy, always has, like, it feels very lucky, like you're very lucky, or you're going to be very lucky at this time with the little rabbit. It just feels very much, well, I heard angelic, but there could be whatever opportunity is coming in for you, something tangible in the 3D. Interesting. I just feel like there's some major shift transforming. I heard your ships are sailing. We have an 8 of Cups. Now, this is emotional detachment. But what I actually feel is that you're emotionally detaching from the old you. And again, this is distant horizon, which makes me feel like a lot of the underlying is transpiring. It's a future timeline. I just am not exactly sure when. And it's going to be different for everybody. It's saying distant horizon, but the fact that it's even in the horizon feels like it's, for some of you, it's going to be a week. For some of you, it's 6 months. I feel like we're within a year for everybody. So let's do some clarifying. I feel like you're ascending, and it feels very rite of passage, and like whatever used to be important to you is no longer going to be important to you. That emotionally wise, what your heart is drawn to or attached to is shifting. So let's say you used to have a love for teriyaki food, and now whenever this transpires, you're going to not necessarily love teriyaki food. You don't hate it, but now you've just got this, your favorite amazing, I love this food is Greek, okay? You had a love for a certain kind of man or woman, like this really turned my crank, whatever it is, whatever, the criteria was, it's going to shift. It's going to be like, in it again, this isn't, I hate this anymore, or I don't want this anymore, or ew. It's more, you're just all of a sudden drawn in a new direction to new things that are like taking precedence. So that teriyaki that you were in love with since you were a kid and never thought it would ever change is no longer. The color that you used to be, this has been my favorite color since I was, whatever. It's changing. For some reason now silver is your favorite color when it used to be neon pink. It feels like you're not, this is a huge shift. This is a huge cyclic shift taking place in your life, and it is ascension. We can end old cycles and begin new ones, but this is deeper than that. This is I feel like there's maybe 3 or 4 stages in one's life, and this is a new stage. Like, this isn't just a cycle that we're ending. This is a stage in life, which to me talks about an entire you being completely wiped out and a new you emerging. This feels very powerful. What is the Page of Cups? Okay, now I'm getting the song, I'm walking on sunshine. Whoa. It's time to feel good. It's a good song. You should listen to it. Anyway. Page of Cups is being clarified by the 8 of Cups. Emotional detachment with the Strength card, Leo energy, and the 3 of Wands. Interesting. Whatever this Page of Cups is, this has made a major shift and change. I feel as though, like I said, we were going to clarify this Queen of Cups and whether they were meant to be in the upright or not. and I still don't feel like they were meant to not be in the upright. I feel like they are meant to be in the upright. But what I will tell you is that whatever this childlike innocence, this flirty, this loving communication, we're emotionally detaching from that. We're taking our power back and we're no longer waiting. Maybe you were waiting for somebody to grow up. Maybe you were waiting for your own something. Let's look. When it comes to that the Queen of Cups, we have the 3 of Cups in the reverse, the 10 of Cups, the 6 of Pentacles, and the Empress card. That 3 of Cups in the reverse tells me that we're not celebrating. This is not a joyous occasion. In fact, the 10 of Cups makes me feel like this is an end of a cycle with this person. You could be emotionally detaching. Maybe this person was a little bit too childish, and or if this, I feel like this is a person we're talking about, but this just feels like this cycle's come to a completion. And again, doesn't mean that we're not, doesn't mean that you hate a person per se. It just means that we've shifted. We're beginning the shift. Things are changing. There's no longer an emotional attachment to such individual. And I feel like there was a waiting. There was something you were waiting for. Now, whether it was for this person to grow up, for them to propose, for them to, whatever the case, we don't have like Lovers or 2 of Cups here. So this doesn't have to be a romantic partner. This could literally just be a family member. You emotionally detached because the cycle's ended and you're no longer celebrating this person. You're not waiting for them to grow up. You're not waiting for them to do the right thing in your eyes by you. We have the 6 of Cups. I feel like you're done begging, and that's what it feels like, is a desire for something, or feeling constantly like you had to beg for energy, for attention, for love, for whatever it is, which is interesting because it's as within, so without. But I honestly feel like you turned and started giving it to yourself, and that's what made you realize. That's when the emotional detachment came about. The Empress card, Taurus, Libra, this is a new beginning. It's not just taking a leap of faith. It's actually a time of fertility to create what it is that you truly desire, to turn your dreams into reality. I feel like you are. I feel like you, not only is it a time of fertility, but with the Star card, Aquarius energy, you have faith in the future and you are creating. What is the Ace of... Oh, there's the 2 of Cups, Mother Trucker. The Ace of Swords. Well, again, new way of thinking and believing, the truth. 2 of Cups, pertaining to a relationship, Page of Swords, and the 2 of Wands. When it comes to whatever this relationship is, I feel like you've got clarity and truth coming through. There could be communication, but if anything, there's a turning the back on what was and moving forward into a new cycle. You could move forward with this person, but if that's the case, I feel like there is some shifts and changes needing to be made to match your energy, because I feel like you are shifting and changing by leaps and bounds. What is this 4 of Cups? Nice. I feel the 4 of Cups, again, rejection, whether it's on your part, their part, and or just being unsatisfied with the emotional opportunities and allowing something new to come in. You're not resisting it. I feel like you're on board. You're in your power. Strength card and perseverance. Leo energy. I don't know why Scorpio kept popping up. Maybe you're dealing with a Scorpio. And the Hermit. That's your spiritual winter. That's it. So this distant horizon could be a lot sooner for a lot of you. I feel like you are not resisting this shift and change. The Hermit energy, the going within, the spiritual awakening, if you will. however you want to put it, you're a willing participant. And I feel like you are taking the steps necessary to, interesting, you're on the bottom, to move in this direction. And there you are, still on the bottom. That Page of Pentacles is being clarified by the Chariot card in the reverse, the Nine of Swords, and the Knight of Wands. It's interesting because the page, again, pages bring news and opportunity. Whatever was coming through for you, I feel like there was no forward momentum, victory, and success. I feel like it pertains more to this person. Had you up in your head, overthinking, overanalyzing, fear, stress, anxiety, and the Knight of Wands, which is passion, drive, forward momentum, and creativity. I feel like there's a few things it's telling me here. A, you're about to go through some stuff. Welcome to the ascension process. The opportunity that's coming in for you is going to create a sense of possible stagnancy, a feeling of not moving forward, just kind of stuck in a limbo. There could be a little bit of fear, stress, anxiety, nightmares, sleepless nights, but we're talking about a dark night of the soul. We're talking about completely uprooting who you are and turning into another person. By another person, I mean higher in your spiritual ascension. So the person that you're playing now isn't meant to be you. It's not you. The true you is the spiritual you. Spirit having a human experience. So the role that you're playing right now in your life with your likes, your dislikes, is all programming. I feel like you are I feel like you're moving head first with passion, drive, and desire. I feel like you're going to gain more of that as you move through. Awareness is half of what it is that you're moving through. It makes it so much easier. But I will also say that in order to upgrade thyself, this is a necessity. I also feel like this pertains to an energy of a person that you were also dealing with. I'm not going to clarify the Queen of Pentacles because that's you. What's this Eight of Cups? Nice. Nice. Emotional detachment from what? The Eight of Swords. That overthinking, overanalyzing, fear, stress, and anxiety. You're letting it go. There's no more emotion attached to it. When you cut the emotion off, that which you used to be creating from it is nil and void. The thoughts don't create the things. There has to be a vibration that attaches to it. When you emotionally detach from these thoughts, it means that they're no longer sucking you in and controlling you. We have the Six of Cups in the reverse. I feel like for a lot of you, it's something stemming from possible childhood, but this feels very like you're emotionally detaching from whatever lies you might have told yourself from the past. And you might say, oh, they weren't lies, like this really truly happened. But when you emotionally detach from the thoughts that were creating, okay, example, somebody didn't show me the love that I needed because they were, addicts, let's say parental, whatever, they drank too much or something. When we emotionally detach from that story that we told ourselves, it no longer affects us. And we're able to come through with our own cup. We're starting to fill our own cup up. The reason I call it, in essence, a lie is because when you look at it from that perspective, you're talking about blame. Oh, it's their fault I'm this way because I didn't get what I needed. And now it's, that's blame. When you look at it from the respect of they did the best that they could with what they had. And they were raised from somebody who did the best that they could and the best that they could. And there's no blame here. Nobody purposefully treated you a certain kind of way, right? It just is a cycle, and it's an ancestral cycle. And when you so choose to break free from it and no longer feed it, not only are you freeing yourself, but you free all of your ancestors as well, because there's a ripple effect. When we do the work, it literally shifts not only us, but the people, places, and situations around us and our DNA. So whatever it is that you are moving through, there could have been an ending of a situation romantically. If it isn't romantically, it feels parental. And also, I will say that for some of you, it is a shift in your romance as well. There is a major emotional detachment from an old you. And this is huge. This feels far more than just ending a cycle. It feels literally like Phoenix rising, dark night of the soul, spiritual awakening. This is some deep stuff. You ready? Number 20, June. So, for some of you, it's beginning this month. For some of you, you've already been going through it. And it will be a year from this month. So, or it's take it how it resonates. You're going to know where you are in your progress. But get excited. It feels like you are. Okay. Oddly enough, so did I. Not a whole year, Leanne. It's everybody's different. And frankly, with the energy we're talking about shifting and changing, you're going to wish it was 5 years, because a year is not that long for that kind of shift. I will tell you what. I haven't done timestamps in so long. I have to remember. I think it's I don't remember. I'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Who knows? Maybe the Sunday weeklies will be good. I mean, I think all the readings are good. It's just sometimes the message is like, ooh, nice. I'm, coming into oodles and boodles of money and happiness and joy and opportunity. And sometimes it's, oh, yay, I get to go through ascension and, Phoenix rising and dark night of the soul, which, again, all of it's good. It's just sometimes it's like instant gratification of amazingness and, oh, yay, there's going to be so much amazing things, but it's going to be a process. So, it is what it is. It almost feels like this was your own personal live, ladies, it being that we had 20 views. I have to laugh because, like I said, there's hundreds upon hundreds of views that I no longer receive now that I am not doing the vertical live, but so worth it. And it actually feels, I don't know, more relaxed, really. I'm yawning. I don't know why. I think I already shuffled this deck. That's right, I'll shuffle it again. All right, I'm going to get out of here so I can figure out my timestamps. Hopefully they're close. I mean, even though the little time started, I think it was 40 seconds before it actually started. It's not going to kill anybody if it's 40 seconds off. Right? Anyways. All right. I will see you all on Sunday if you make it. If not, then I'll see you the next time I see you. I appreciate you. I will, you guys are so awesome. I love seeing both of you in the chat, but I will see you very